Okay guys, so you saw part one, which was kind of making fire. And then this particular video is just about using the same techniques. We're gonna spray a little and we're gonna leave a rest dry. There's already pre-done shapes on this particular watercolor paper. And I'm going to play in kind of living colors. So I'm playing in greens. And again, when you're working with these acrylic inks, I really need you to be mindful of where the drops are going and how much water. You don't want to, not cannot, but you just don't want to get a ton of water on these on the watercolor paper, because what happens is when you go to pick this up, everything will just run right off the paper itself. So I'm working now in green, yellow, and a turquoise, and this is kind of like, let's say this is some sort of hopeful vibe, I don't know. It can be whatever you want it to be. But when I look at these colors, I think a little bit more hopefully. It's a little bit cooler palette. So let's see what happens, and let's look closer. Look how these guys just light up in these cells. So you see, the more water you put here, the more this is going to ride on the paper. See how it takes off? Again, you got to be so mindful of the area you're working in. So I'm playing in this because I want to see, I have all these lines that are drawn underneath, and I'm going to be following those lines to do something interesting. One thing about this, as you are playing with this, additionally, you guys have straws that should be put with all the art materials. So you can literally blow the ink with straws. And let's see what happens when we scrape it. I have no idea. I've never done this. Let's find out. Look how that makes this all kind of one color. So we know that scraping makes it one color. And you see how the water is going towards the end of the table? You want to catch that. Let's see what happens when we soak it up. And maybe what we can get here is a pattern on top of a pattern to play with, where we soak up all of the excess dye onto a paper towel. Let's see what happens. See how that makes it look like batik, or kind of like a tie-dye vibe. So what can we do with something like this? What is this about? What this is about is laying down a background and then coming back over it with marker pen. This could become a flower. This could become thought bubbles. This can become a card. You can cut it up. You can do a mosaic with the pieces. So you've already pre-laid in all of your background, acrylic ink color. Now we'll let it dry and see what it can turn into. So we've got cool tones and we have fire tones. Okay, let's see what happens next.